What'd you say about FCC?
I said the FCC won't let me be or let me be me. So.
Oh no, we got big problems today. Bigger problems than anyone realizes, for sure.
We had to do it, man. We had to do it. This.
Yes.
For all the people out there, for all the little people like me and you.
For the people that might not know.
Or for the people that might not know, because it's probably going live today, isn't it? Well, not live, but aren't they?
Well, the articles I'm looking at right now are at the latest, like November 21, and today's the 23rd. So I think the plan was that the FCC would plan to repeal net neutrality, which would result in a total victory for telecoms. And
hold on, welcome back to the B Plus podcast.
All right.
Today we're discussing the gigantic piece of shit that is getting rid of net neutrality. I contacted Nasum and decided that we had to talk. Usually we're all happy about our nerd or geek fandom of the things that we love.
We can pretend to be happy if you wanted to. Pretend to do that.
We had to do this because people want to fuck us over. Nothing. Let me start because I know you're going to take off. So let me start.
Here we go, John.
Asshole. Let me start with, never was I into politics or never was I into looking at all that stuff. I just played my World of Warcraft or did my geek stuff and stayed in my lane. Not until I started vaping, which I quit cigarettes in 2011.
Good for you.
Did I realize that the government, I was doing vaping since 2011, and then about a year or 2 years ago, the government says, wait a minute. Look at all these mom and pop these mom and pop stores popping up. These people are making money. Let me put my fucking hand into it. And that's when I realized that, holy shit, like I've been sitting here, vaping and enjoying, what I'm doing, not harming a fucking thing. And then the government says, hey, you're making money? You making money over there? Bring it over here. Not only that, then they try to go and sell it to big tobacco so that these mom and pop shops, you put them out of business. Nasum, the question I have to ask is, what the fuck is going on?
Nothing good's going on. I'll tell you that much.
Well,
today
give it to us because today is Net Neutrality podcast, and we are gonna fucking tear this shit up. Sorry for all the cursing, but I'm super pissed.
Man, you gotta calm down. Jeez, man. No more coffee for you. Time to switch to decaf. No more of that donut stuff that you're.
I drink. It's not coffee. It's covfefe.
Oh, God.
Donald Trump.
I mean, I have this, but this is like been in the fridge. I'm not really even having so much of it, so I can.
I'll calm down. Sorry, I'm fired up though.
You are fired up. If the FCC is going to plan a net neutrality repeal, it's going to be a total victory, like I said, for the telecoms, and by that I mean anybody that's going to be able to give you a service as far as the internet goes. So we're thinking about Xfinity, Comcast, Verizon, AT&T, so on and so forth. And the Democrats in 2015 were able to put enough things in place where net neutrality would have to remain, and that these companies would have to be treated like the old-timey telephone companies, where they had the range to be able to be like your service provider. So now it's about internet service providers, ISPs. And what's probably going to go down is that the stuff that was put in place in 2015 and worked towards for a while will be undone because the Republicans for a much longer time wanted this stuff to be gonzo. And as soon as you get rid of the it's Title II, you lose the ability to be classified as like these companies will no longer be net neutral. So what's going to happen after that is that they're going to go ahead and be able to, in a business fashion, it's kind of dastardly, it's actually criminal, allow who they're going to work with to have the high speeds, the free flow. And that company or entity will probably be giving them payment to make sure that that would happen for them, and everyone else would have to have a lower speed or a slow speed. So if you're like a mom and pop, whatever, and you're going to have your own website, good luck. Or if you want to like start with your own actual internet service, like good luck there too, because these guys are already going to have all the hardware, the software, the rule the roost. They're gonna run the show, and now they're going to run the show and be able to give whoever they're supposed to be able to favor or give the best service to the speeds that they'll want. So that's going to make things really murky for the rest of us. And who wins? These telecom companies win like 100%. And 110%. Who loses? Everybody else. Everybody else absolutely loses.
Why are there places? Why are there? Why does the government hate us?
Well, this is a proposal made by the FCC chairman, Ajit Pai, I think his name is, and he was placed by Mr. Trump himself, and he's going to repeal the rules that were put in place by Obama's administration. And this would be taking your ISPs, and the rules he put in the Obama administration put rules that would stop or slow down the delivery of websites that would make it kind of like not necessarily fair. So if that goes away, then the throttling, stopping or slowing down of other websites by the people who control these highways, which are your internet service providers, your ISPs, that's okay. That can happen now. So they were preventing companies from charging customers extra fees or high quality streaming and other services. But that's going to probably happen. And we're definitely going to lose. The further ramifications will be, will we have to pay a different price for like the area of the internet we would like to use the most? And
right. A thing that I saw yesterday was, that like if you don't, it was on Twitter or something. It said, if you're not scared of net neutrality, let's put it this way: if you get your internet, like TJ has out in Jersey, he has his internet through Verizon because they got the FiOS out there. And they said that Yahoo, which is in partnership or in the pocket of Verizon, so Verizon, if you have the internet through them, you're going to be using Yahoo to search, and then if you wanted to use Google, you're going to have to pay Verizon money to unlock that.
Okay, yeah, that's a good example. That's one of the examples. The example I'm worried about, like farther down the line possibly, is that we all have phones and we all have packages and we all have caps and limits on our data that we can use up to,
which is terrible point. Now. Like it's terrible that, already.
Yeah, and you're paying like a decent price for it, depending on who your service provider is for a phone. Never mind your internet service provider here at home. And we would come home with our phones and jump on our own Wi-Fi so that we didn't eat up data on this plan over here. Well, guess what? You might have to come home to check what your package is over here because you might be blowing through that. Like there's a very good possibility that you'll have
your Wi-Fi package.
Yes, you're going to have a different limit on your Wi-Fi package, and it's going to stink. But it could be, it could happen, and it's all because if we're going to take the limits off of what was put in place in 2015, we have a bigger problem on our hands as consumers and people that want to be able to use the internet in the ways that we're going to just try to do naturally, which we've been for quite some time. That's getting closer or has already completely changed. This is a big deal. Most people don't even know what's happening. They don't. Some people don't know what net neutrality is or was. Like even the term net neutrality, like it just actually means to stop ISPs from slowing down, stopping, or throttling other websites because they don't like them. And the biggest example of that would have been like Xfinity or Comcast versus Netflix, which was a really big deal for Netflix when they were trying to get farther and farther and farther and becoming the monster they are right now. And I don't know. Maybe I don't even know if Netflix is going to weigh in on something like this. Maybe this is just a really good thing for them. Maybe they're so big, they're making so much money. This happening might even like slow down any startup or competition for them. And like,
right, but I have a question for you. So ultimately, in simple man's terms, with my puny brain here, is
okay.
that with net neutrality gone, which what they're doing is meaning that you have internet through Comcast. So
Sure.
Comcast can say, hey, which they can't now. You go downstairs or you go in your living room and you watch Netflix, which is fine. You have HD, all that 4K, HDR, whatever you want to call it. Comcast now, with this being taken away, is going to be able to say, hey, enjoy your Netflix, but if you want the HDR 4K, whatever, pay us $10 more a month.
They can say, Netflix, if you want our premium speeds for your users, you pay us.
Right.
Netflix would be like, go take a hike, or here you go. Or they could be like, if you like using Netflix and want to have it uninterrupted, you'll have to pay part of this package, which can have Netflix bundled in with it, whether they're doing business with them or not.
I have a question though.
Go
ahead, but I have a question.
It's going to like. Here's the biggest example. Netflix was fighting against, I think, Comcast or Xfinity in the past because they were getting throttled by them, and you needed the internet to stream. So here's how it would happen for me, and other people have experienced this too. You're on Netflix, you're watching in whatever quality you're watching. It starts to downgrade after you're watching like 4 shows, maybe like 4 hours, maybe 3.5, and then before you know it, it like you get the in progress or we're working on it like spinning symbol, and it gets stuck at like whatever number, let's call it like 25, and then you're basically done watching Netflix for a while, or you're going to go have to run and reset your router. And that was an example back then, or back when, or now, and what's going to be kind of like the future. And it stinks. It's not that great.
My question to you is that, okay, so let's just say the worst is happening, and to access HDR content or to use the speeds that you would need for HDR content, you have to now let's use Comcast because they're fantastic. You have to pay Comcast $5-10 more a month, okay, to access that, because they could literally stop you. I mean, if they're talking about Verizon stopping you from using Google as a search engine, then obviously Comcast should stop Netflix, because what's going on is that Comcast owns their own streaming service or their own streaming content, so they could block you from over here and then say, if you want Netflix, you got to pay us $5 or $10 more a month. The question I have is this solely profit for Comcast, or if they choose to do this, do they have to give something back to Netflix? Which I don't know. I don't know if you know.
No. This is total profit for Comcast or any company.
So they wouldn't have to give anything to Netflix.
No, Netflix would have to give them something for them to be included in the bundle or package they'll offer, or to give them the premium speeds. So the telecoms absolutely dominate, rule, win. It's a victory. It's a slam dunk for them, and everyone else loses. And this is everybody else.
Is overall people or companies, big corporations, giving money to the government. So the government is saying, okay, we're going to honor this because of money. Correct?
It's more a Republican way of being able to do more business and have these transactions take place where it wasn't possible in the past. So if you lift net neutrality, or you get rid of Title II, which made it possible so that you couldn't throttle, stop, or slow other entities on the web, and now it then becomes possible. So it's a really big deal, because we're used to doing things a certain way, and things have been going, I guess, from my viewpoint as a person that's going to consume this information, they were going quite well, or at least okay. And it's going to get pretty muddy. Like it's going to be like messy, basically.
Why do people have to put or change systems where no one has a problem?
Because I didn't have a problem. I mean, I have a problem.
The only problem I have is that you go to Verizon and they're still charging you, or AT&T or any company, and they're still charging you for data in 2017. Like, are you kidding? I mean, they could charge, but that you have a cap and that you got to pay them more money. Like, this is a monopoly in itself. It's not a monopoly to the to the extent, because it's not one company that rules everything, but these people are already destroying like us. They're already hurting us because we have Netflix in 2017 and people are binging, and Netflix is mainstream. Like, Netflix is huge. It wasn't back a couple years ago. Now it's gigantic. But the fact of the matter that we have to, you want 10 gig? Okay, you can have 10 gig. Here's, it's this much. Oh, you went over your 10. You got to do this. Like, it's already terrible. It should be unlimited everywhere. And they have unlimited packages that are there, but in the fine print that you don't see, that they don't tell you, hey, join our unlimited package. You'll pay this much, this much money, and you'll have unlimited data. Well, what they don't tell you is that after 20 gig or whatever, they throttle you behind the scenes.
They'll throttle you, or they'll give you, which is basically the same notion. Like, you'll have the service, but you'll just won't have it at the speed that you were using for X amount of gigs. You can look forward to that kind of model, which was established by like maybe 4 or 5 of our phone service providers, maybe on our cable and internet service provider level. So when you said like it's like a monopoly, but it still is, because if you think about what a monopoly is, yeah, it's not like mono, it's not one. Okay, but if you sectioned off our entire nation, right, and you're saying your friend TJ, or I'm saying for the longest time in our area here in northeastern Pennsylvania, we only had one choice for an internet service provider, which was Comcast Xfinity for I don't know how long, as long as I can remember. And this year, I heard or seen ads about Verizon showing up. And you're like, oh, look, they got competition. But do they really? Because if everything was sectioned off for a very long time and everyone got their spot of whatever was supposed to be decent for providing just that service to everybody for the longest time, and now they're starting to show up to have like 2 providers rather than just one provider. It's still like the same, like 4 companies. And so like it's a monopoly anyway, because it was already planned out to be that way. And it just is what it is, and there's no stopping it. But for a while, the best we were able to get as far as net neutrality goes was Title II and the stuff that was placed by the Obama administration in 2015. And,
so that's the thing, and I'm not saying anything one way. I don't want to get all political or anything like that.
It's not really political. We're just stating what already happened.
What I'm going to say is, though, is it just Trump trying to just take away things? Was it needed, or is it Trump trying to take away stuff that Obama put in place just to take away stuff that Obama put in place?
Obama, as a Democrat, put it in place for a reason, and Trump, as
but he just wants to take things away.
Is going to do. I don't know if it's about taking things away. It's about kind of like building over the plan to basically like gut net neutrality, and that's what he's going to do.
So let's play devil's advocate, and let's go on the other side. So let's go with the FCC and what they're saying. The FCC is saying that this taking this away will, and if Comcast acts out and does all this and says, hey, you got to pay $10 more for Netflix, then us as consumers are going to be able to make that decision and leave. That's the argument, correct? Like, the argument is that it's going to give us, they're not going to do these bad practices because we'll leave. But the flip side of that coin is we're in northeastern Pennsylvania. Where are we going to go? If you want 150 gig down or 150 meg download or whatever, you have to go with Comcast. You want to go to Verizon? I had Verizon in my apartment before we bought this house, and I had 7 download, and that was it. They don't have FiOS here. They don't have that. You literally, like, you were. I said about the monopoly, and then you expanded on it, but like, we have no option. So they could do these dirty practices, and we're at the mercy of them. I don't know what the FCC is trying to say. Like, everybody's not New York or LA or California. Like, what about everybody else? What about the rest of your country?
They're expected. The FCC is expected to pull the plug on net neutrality rules. Okay, which could very well have any like maybe tech companies and entrepreneurs and others that would be concerned users, which would be not wanting to go down without a fight. Okay, and then you last night said there was a number of the people that were trying to voice their concern, which was like 22 million, I believe.
20 to 22, yeah, yes.
Yeah,
it's at least 20 million.
it's like they want to be able to put up a fight, although it might happen anyway. And what do? You're not going to be able to do too much. Like I said, the other side
though? Why? Like, isn't this what we're like as a country? Like, this is what we like. If we say no, then it should be no, correct?
But the people that are around to be like, no was a good answer. They were around in 2015 in the form of the Obama administration, and they had it happen. But that's not the climate now. Now it's 2017, and Trump and his Republican helmed Federal Communications Commission is definitely going to pull the plug on this thing, and that's what they're going to do. And it's like I said before, I'll use the words dastardly and criminal, and it's not good for everybody, but it's good for them. And we'll have to kind of suffer. We lose. We lose.
90% of people.
We lose. Big time.
And like I said, I'm not political, and I'm not stuff like anything like that. And I can't talk politics with anybody because I'm pea-brained here. But I just don't. At the very, very simplest form, okay, is we said no. Just don't. And they said, too bad. Like, America said no. The actual people that live and work, the people that clean your toilets and the people that, take these jobs that other people don't want, they're saying no to, America's saying no. And they say too bad, right? Correct? At the simplest form.
If you knew enough to be able to say, hey, I have a good grasp of what's going on over here, and I don't want that to happen like that, they're saying, well, there were rules that were in place already, and they're called, I think it's called Title II. And they stopped us from doing what we wanted to do for a long time. These are Republicans saying we wanted to do this for a very long time. And now we have the opportunity to get rid of this, which was stopping us. And they're going to get rid of it, and no one will stop them then. And they're going to do what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And there's nothing we can really do about that. Not right now. Mm-mm. They're really going to get their way. And it's about being educated enough to know that this is happening. Like what I would rather explain to somebody first and foremost is what is net neutrality first, and then show them that, well, that's going to go poof. And then they can be like, whoa, that's wrong. I'm like, yeah, right. And then someone would step in like you and would be like, well, what do we do to stop this? And I'm like, it was stopped before, and now it's about to be lifted.
I'm gonna hold this up. This was real back in the day before this was in place. I don't know how good it's gonna come out on camera, but I'm just gonna hold it up. This is reality. Let's see if it'll focus.
Yeah, the closer you go, you should be okay.
So this is reality right here. You're going to have, this was a real ad from back in the day. You're going to have $30, and then if you want said services, plus 10, plus 10, plus 5, plus 5. Does that have? That has World of Warcraft in there.
Yeah. I was just going to say, is that Warcraft next to it? Steam?
Do you want to play Warcraft plus $5? EA, Steam. This is insanity. And this is our reality right now. So I'm sorry for the people that listen to the audio version, but this is the scariest thing. Look at this. Okay, I want World of Warcraft, I want Amazon, I want Netflix, and I want YouTube.
Just start by saying where you got that.
We're doing plus $30 already.
Start by saying where you got that on your phone. Like, how did you
What?
search for that?
I got it from tech YouTuber MKBHD on Twitter.
Okay, okay. What it was, for those that couldn't see or if it was blurry, was a bunch of different things bundled into different packages where you had to pay +5 or 10 or whatever increment it's supposed to be for this service or package, or it's not a service. It's like the stuff you already like. So if you like streaming, so you'll have to buy Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, and this and that and the fourth for an extra $5 or $10. And if you like gaming, you'll have to buy Steam and Warcraft for an extra $5. And so you keep having to tack these things on when they're kind of already all available for us right now, and they have been for a while. But now this is going to be nickel and dime. And don't be fooled. Like, the ISPs are going to be able to show you how this isn't a bad thing, and they're going to have ways of explaining things to you where they're going to use words like free and more, and they're going to make you feel like this is something that's going to benefit you, and this is something that you want. You want this. I mean, look, you already have this. You want this, and like, it's not going to be like this like like violent evisceration. You know what I mean? It's going to be something they're going to want to numb you up with a bunch of Novocaine before they start basically like pulling these.
Yeah. So, and one more example for the people that are still listening is, in the simplest form is you have water, but do you want to use the water in your from your tap?
Do you want to drink this water right here, or do you want to drink some Tulp?
Right. You have water, so you could use your water. That's fine on your tap. Oh, you want to use water for your dishwasher? More money. You want to use water for your shower? More money. Like, I want to make this clear, is that it's all the same water, which is all the same internet.
Water's a good example. I like the highway thing, where there's the roads where you have the communication that can flow back and forth. So you want to jump on this highway, you can do that. And you want to go really fast, huh? Yeah, you can do that too.
I want to go fast. I want to go fast.
You want to go fast? Okay, cool. You can, but there's a toll for that. So you'll pay the toll, and you can go that fast, and that's going to be you watching or doing something that you would have done in the past, which didn't really have that much of a toll. You were already paying for your ISP, but now it's going to get a bit more complicated.
Right.
And it's sad. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if it isn't sad, it's a little maddening, or it's unfortunate. How about the app? Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
Is there any way that this doesn't happen?
No, it's happening. It's not going to not happen. It's going down. The way it was really like.
I mean, there was Congress, right? Like, we could. I saw a lot of people on Twitter saying, contact your Congress or your,
Go for it. But the FCC is going to do this, and if they get the votes and it happens, it's over. So that's it. And now that the FCC has, Trump has the people in that he wants to have in to be able to move this thing forward, it's going to move forward. And, well, yeah, that's it. Sorry.
I mean, and they could block everything. I mean, I'm not advocating this. I'm not saying.
I doubt they're actually going to block anything, but you can get what you want to get.
Listen, they could block something like BitTorrent, and I can't advocate for that because you can't advocate stealing, but they could. That's how in your face this is going to be, is that oh, they're charging $10 more for Netflix. I'm just gonna go steal or do whatever on BitTorrent. Well, no, Comcast now has you blocked. Like,
I'll see if
they could get in there as deep as that.
Think about this. Would they want to block off an area of the internet that you could pay for, or let you pay for access to it? And I think that they would just be like, okay, well, if you're going to give us $5 or $10 more, then you can use this. You can do what you want to do that you were doing for a long time, but now it's sectioned off. There. How about that? It's all sectioned off. Yep. And there's going to have to be time for you to decide what is more and already free for you, because you want this, you like this, you already have it, and it's okay. Just let it happen. Yeah.
So
I got nothing else to say.
bottom line podcast summed up in 2 words: we're fucked.
You know what? We're probably being throttled as we speak. They probably figured out that we're talking about this, and for all I know, this is being deleted right now. Where is my aluminum cap? You know what I mean? I want my aluminum hat right now.
Yeah,
aluminum over here.
Yeah, I don't know. And like I said, for someone that isn't into any of this,
here's some aluminium right there. But it's not doing any justice on my pinky.
For someone that's not into any of this and doesn't, just is finally feeling the effects of what government and these people do to us, the people. It's just scary. I just don't understand. And I know, well, I mean, I understand, bottom line is money, but I just can't believe as a simpleton here that this is actually going on, that people are like, please don't. And they're like, too bad. Like,
no, they're more like, too bad. Thank you for your concern and duly noted. We've been trying to do this and wanted to do this for a very, very long time. So we're going to move forward with it. And it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Everything will be okay. Just let us take care of this. And then that'll be
I'm going to make the worst segue of all time. So I apologize to the listeners and the watchers of this, but like, this is a terrible one. But, people are all up in arms now. Hollywood, people are out in Hollywood and Harvey Weinstein and this, and these people are getting raped. These people are getting raped. God damn, this is terrible. Why would they do that? Why are people being forced to do things they don't want to? God damn, this is bad. Yet when the government says, hey, we're going to do this to you and, basically rape your access to free internet, and we say, no, Harvey Weinstein, girl, please don't. No, I'm doing it anyway. That's bad. But us, like I said, this is a terrible analogy. But us, hey, free, internet's fine. Don't have to do anything. Please don't. Duly noted. Fuck you. Here comes my dick. Like,
no, you're right.
You are about to be fucked. Like,
you're right about one thing. The analogy makes no sense at all. I mean, Harvey Weinstein was in a position, and I mean, so were the other people where they wanted to move forward.
So was the government. We can't do anything here. We say, please don't do this. Please don't do this. And they say, fuck you. Like, it don't matter. Like 20 million people said, don't do this. That's no joke.
So you want Harvey Weinstein to be the government?
No, I don't. Please.
Okay.
I'm just saying on this side, when people are saying please don't do this, and people are victims against their will, it's bad. But on this side, when we're victims of the government, no one gives a shit. I feel like we're victimized, correct? I mean, more money is coming out of our pockets. Is that not victimized?
It's victimized, and I'm still going to keep using the word criminal because that's how I really do feel about it. Back to your analogy, which is hilarious. So who's the girl?
No, don't,
because they were willing.
Any worse than it already has to be. All right, Jesus Christ! All right, like,
you can't give me something like this not expecting to kind of. Like,
I said 15 times this podcast that I'm peebering. All right, like, please give the simpleton a little love here.
Okay. We're done. There's nothing else to say. We really are. Yeah. We should go to the gym. It's only open 1 hour more. You want to go?
No, I'm too fired up. And
I'm going to use that energy at the gym. What about that?
Yeah. Well, to anyone that's seeing this or to anyone that gives a shit, this is the B Plus podcast. Please like and subscribe. You'll get all the updates unless we get shut down. And if we don't, and someone sees this that matters, I want to say, fuck you.